What's up, people? Got Joe Who here for a very special episode of Random Shit. Alright. I did a little video yesterday where I was talking about aliens, UFOs, and possibilities of extraterrestrial life. Today, I'm going to touch on something a little bit more personal. I had mentioned briefly in my previous video that I've studied the occult. And when I say I studied the occult, I mean to say I have studied witchcraft. Yes, I've studied Wiccan, among other things. Now, this was 15 years ago, before all this faggy Twilight stuff and emo goth bullshit. I mean, there was goth stuff back then, but none of that had anything to do with why I started studying Wiccan. Allergies. But I'm not even really here to talk about that today. I just want to, Wiccan has a bunch of, preconceived notions attached to it, and I had nothing to do with any of that. I studied that because I have seen and experienced some things. I'm not really going to get into all of that, but suffice it to say, I know for a fact that things such as ghosts or spiritual entities or even demonic presences exist. I've seen them. I've felt them. And when I say I felt them, I'm not talking about like tactile touch. I didn't feel them. I felt them. When you are in the presence of pure evil, true evil, it feels as if a clawed hand is squeezing around your heart. Your breath feels like it's being blocked off. Not like you're being strangled or choked or anything, but as if your actual airways are being shut down and blocked off, and you can't breathe even though you're capable of it. And you feel a surging malevolence, is the best word, throughout your whole body. And yeah, scariest fucking thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm not just talking about one incident. I've seen ghosts. That's the easiest word to use to describe them. Although the idea we have of ghosts isn't really correct. Okay, this is what I know for a fact. Okay? Choose to believe it or not. That's up to you. I'm just sharing information. Okay, before I do this, I want to take another hit because this is some pretty heavy shit. So it's like this, see. There are at least two planes of existence that coexist one on top of the other. The one we know, the world we see around us and can touch and hear and taste and feel, and another world. And I'm not sure if these are spiritual remnants of people that have passed away, or some kind of interdimensional echo. I don't know the details. It's not like I had this explained to me specifically. This is just what I've been able to piece together in my studies and from what I've experienced. There is this other plane of existence right on top of, or right next to, ours, where we are living in a world where the entities we know as ghosts are around us constantly. It's happening every moment of your life. You just don't know it. And, those two dimensions coexist. At this very moment, there are things happening in this very room that you or I can't see or feel or hear. But they're still happening to some other being, some other entity, whatever that may be. And every so often, like someone leaving a window open, you might say, there is a ripple, a visual, you see a glimpse of something, or you feel a cold breeze or something, or something smells kind of funny, but you can't really explain it. And most of the time these are little things. You pass them off as a shadow in the corner of your eye, or the light playing tricks with you, or something, but it's not. And it's one of those things where, I'm not gonna say I believe in psychics per se, but there are people like myself who, for some reason or another, have some kind of connection with this other realm of existence. And, the extent of that I couldn't say as far as what somebody else knows or sees or whatever. But from what I understand from, other people I've talked to, and yes, I have talked to other people who have experienced this, and as a matter of fact, most of these experiences were with other people. Not that many, at the most 2 or 3, but the way that it works is, once you're aware of these things, if you can see them, if you can feel them more than other people can, once you're aware of it, there's no closing the door on it. And sometimes there's no controlling it. I get these feelings sometimes. I'll be outside smoking a cigarette, and there'll be a chill in the wind, and I'll get this feeling in the pit of my stomach. And And this has been happening to me since I was 11, 12 years old. And that's why I started studying Wiccan and the occult and such, because I wanted to explain these things that were happening. And, I mean, maybe it doesn't help that I grew up in a haunted house. I mean, I'm not going to say that in, like, the haunted house you picture on Halloween. My grandmother died in the living room of my father's house. Her ashes were in the closet. All my life, I'd be in my room at my father's house trying to sleep at night, and I'd feel like somebody was in there watching me. You'd be all alone in the house and hear somebody walking around upstairs. Or the light would be on in the bathroom when you knew you shut it off. No one else was home. One time, a good friend of mine came over to see if I was home, and I wasn't. And he said he actually saw. Now, he knew nothing about my grandmother. He said he saw a woman with curly silver hair matching a description similar to my grandmother standing in the window. There was never malevolence to the presence or whatever, but I was always aware of it. And then when I was 11 or 12, I started to see what I refer to as shadows. It's a form of a person. No details. Just a shadow, really. Sometimes you'll see it walk past you. Sometimes you'll see it, off in the distance somewhere and think maybe it's a person, but then it'll be gone a second later. They're real. They're 110% real. And there are worse things. I'm not going to get into all of it. I'd much rather not even think about it. As a matter of fact, I can't even believe I'm telling you. Aside from the handful of people that were there and experienced these things with me, there were only 2 or 3 other people that I've ever told. And I don't know. Sitting around smoking and watching some documentaries on some spooky shit like I tend to do, and thinking about some shit, and I just felt like doing this. Maybe it's some kind of therapeutic thing, get it off my chest, I don't know. And maybe one day I might tell you the story I'm not telling you right now. I don't know. If you really want to hear it, let me know in the comment section. Or shout me a message or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Now, I'm not asking you to believe me. Think I'm crazy for all I give a good goddamn. Hell, I am crazy. I've been institutionalized to prove it. I'm not going to go into that right now. But the one thing I'm not is delusional. Never heard voices or had visions, so to speak. I mean, aside from the things that I've seen, but other people have seen them too. When you have cooperation, it's kind of hard to pass off as delusion. But my point is this. Believe whatever you want to believe. I'm just giving you information. But trust me when I say that I believe it, because I can't unsee what I've seen. I can't erase my memories. I can't change the feelings I've had several times all throughout my life. It really changes your perspective on things when you realize there is a whole nother world existing on top of ours. Heaven, hell, the afterlife, call it whatever you want. I don't know any of this stuff. I mean, I've studied theology, I've studied religions, I've studied mythologies, all sorts of shit. And, I got the same answers you got. 50-50, could be one, could be the other. Nobody knows. Alright, now, what I'm saying has nothing to do with God or the devil or heaven or hell. I'm just saying plain and simple. The thing that we know as ghosts, the sightings, or at least most of them I'm putting down. I can't say 100%, but a lot of them are real. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And there is real evil. Call it demons or whatever. I just call them dark presences, dark entities. They're real. I've seen them, I've felt them. And if you are ever walking down a totally dark street, no street lights, and you feel a cold chill in the wind, not like a regular cold, not like it was a minute ago, a new chill, all of a sudden just a little gust, and you get a chill run down your spine. Maybe you feel a shortness of breath. Maybe your body feels a little tingly. And you look around you, it feels a little bit darker. That's real. You're shaking it off in your head, and it's just a dark, cold night. And it is. But for that minute, it got a little darker. It did. And that chill in the wind wasn't just the wind. And that tingly feeling you felt all over your body wasn't just some random sense of nerves or whatever, adrenaline, or it's a reaction. It's a physical reaction to evil. I'm not bullshitting you. It's real. Joe Who, out.